Hello, welcome back or welcome if you're new here. My name is Aniela and I make sewing, knitting and crochet videos. Today I am finally filming a tutorial for the Filet Crochet Rose Dress that some of you asked for. First of all, if you're not familiar with filet crochet and you'd like to know the basics, I have filmed a filet crochet 101. You can go check that out. In the video we make a little swatch, which is also like a checkpoint for your gauge for this project. So it's very important that you don't skip this step and make sure that the gauge is matching mine, otherwise your project will end up different in size than mine. So I have been working on how to film the tutorial for this dress because I am not going to crochet another dress. I don't think I need an exact replica of the dress I already have. Since it's quite a large project, it took me about 4 months to design and create it. Therefore, I decided I'm going to share a pattern I made that is made to fit my measurements, which is about a size extra small to small. I will put all the information in one document that you can access by the link in the description down below. So as this is a one-size pattern, I am not providing a wide range of sizing. However, if you would like to adjust the size, I will put some information what measurements are needed for this project and how to calculate the filet crochet squares and rows. I hope it will be at least a little bit helpful. And yeah, okay, a little bit about the filet crochet rose dress. Today we are making this dress, which is a midi length dress that has a long column skirt. It has shaping for the waistline, and the top part has a scoop neckline in the front, thin I-cord straps, and is finished with a lace border on the top and on the bottom as well. This dress is crocheted in 2 separate panels, one for the front and one for the back, which are then crocheted together. To make this dress, I used a 1.6mm crochet hook and a thin crochet thread. So as I mentioned before, this is not going to be a follow-along tutorial. I am not going to crochet the entire dress. I am going to just give you some guidance and the pattern, the digital pattern itself, to create the exact dress in my size, and show you all the crochet techniques that I use and how to do all the steps that are necessary to complete this dress. So yeah, let's start with the materials. For this project we'll need yarn. As I said before, I'm using a 100% mercerized cotton yarn, which is very thin. It's a lace weight crochet thread, a 1.6mm crochet hook. You'll need some scissors and some stitch markers like clips or anything really that you have on hand and can use as a stitch marker. Okay, now that we know what materials to use, let's focus on the measurements. This part is optional if you would like to follow the pattern and do exactly the same amount of filet crochet squares and rows as I did. You can skip this part, and if you wish to know some more information about how to adjust the pattern, you can take out your notebook and your pen and your measuring tape. So we are going to need our circumferences, our chest circumference, waist circumference, and hips circumference. Then our lengths, so the length from your underarm to your waistline, and from the waistline to the hip line. And the last measurement is the length of the skirt you wish to have. So if you want a mini skirt or a maxi skirt, you can adjust that here. Just measure from your hip line until the length you want your dress to be. And now, with all these measurements noted, we are going to finally work with our gauge. So my gauge is 13 filet crochet squares by 10 rows. And we are going to use these numbers to calculate how much we have to do for each panel. First, we take our hip circumference, we multiply it by 13 divided by 10, and then the number that we get, we divide into, because we are making two separate panels, one for the front and one for the back. So repeat it for all your circumferences. And also, if you would like, you can do as I did. So add one extra square to the back panel and subtract this one square from the front panel. That's why in my pattern, the back piece has always 2 filet crochet squares more than the front piece. Okay, and now for the lengths, we are going to do the same thing. To figure out how many rows we need for each section, we are going to take our lengths, multiply them by 15 and divide it by 10. And this will give us the number of rows we have to crochet. So this is the most simple explanation I could come up with. Of course, you can experiment with these measurements. I made the dress smaller than my measurements and it fits great. It hugs my body, but it's not difficult to put on. So just a side note, if you want to make your own size. Okay, so I think after this introduction, we can start with our project. To begin our project, make a slip knot and make 160 chains for the front panel and 166 chains for the back panel. So I'm going to do a smaller version just to show you the techniques. Now, when you finish 160 chains, make 5 chains to start our first row and double crochet into the 9th chain from your hook. So this is our first open filet crochet square. And now let's look at the pattern chart. We are looking from right to left at our first row. The second square is open, so we chain 2 and skip 2 and double crochet into the 3rd chain. And now we have a filled in square, so make 3 double crochets. And now continue working the pattern chart until the end of the first row. When you finish the first row, go ahead and chain 4, turn your work, and now work the pattern from left to right. So the first square is open, double crochet on top of the double crochet underneath. Continue just like that, chaining 2 and placing double crochets on top of the double crochet underneath. Until you reach your next filled in square. And here for our filled in square, place 2 double crochets into the filet crochet square underneath, and 1 double crochet on top of this double crochet underneath. And continue just like that. When you reach the end of the row, chain 2, the hook, and double crochet into the 3rd chain, and that's the end of row 2. So now work the pattern chart flat from row 1 until row 92. From row 93 until row 129, we're going to work the decreases for the waistline, and we're starting off with a decrease row. So to make a decrease, chain 3, and double crochet into the next double crochet underneath. Go ahead and work the pattern chart until the last filet crochet square. To make a decrease at the end of the row, double crochet 2 together, make 1 double crochet, but don't pull the yarn through the 3rd time, and go into the 3rd chain, yarn over, and now pull through all 3 loops. And for our filled in decrease, chain 3, turn, and double crochet 2 together into 1 into the square underneath and 1 above the 1st double crochet underneath. This is our filled in decrease that you will find on row 105 and 111. So now go ahead and work the pattern chart, making decreases every 6th row on both ends of your row until you reach row 128. From row 130, go ahead and work the pattern chart flat until row 137, and in row 138 we are going to do our first increase for our bust. So to make an increase, chain 5, turn, and double crochet into the same double crochet underneath. Go ahead and work your row according to the pattern chart until you reach the last filet crochet square. So this is our last filet crochet square. This was our decrease, so we don't count this as our filet crochet square. So to make an increase at the end of the row, chain 2 again and double crochet into the same double crochet underneath. Now work the pattern, making increases in row 138 and 147 on each side until you reach row 165. When you finish row 160, you should have 43 filet crochet squares, and from now on we will be shaping the neckline. So this part is only for the front panel of the dress. The back finishes at row 160. And for our row 161, we are going to start from the third filet crochet square. So go ahead and turn. And now place slip stitches until you reach this second double crochet, which will be the beginning of our row. So do as many as you want. I do 2 slip stitches for each square, 1 for the double crochet in between, and again 2 slip stitches here, and finish off by slip stitching into the second double crochet. And now we have a decrease, so chain 3, double crochet into the next, and now work the open filet crochet squares until you reach the third from last filet crochet square. And now work your second decrease into the second from last filet crochet square. For the next row, we are going to separate this part of the neckline in 2, and we are going to first work on this side. So from your hook, count 14 filet crochet squares, and this will mark our last filet crochet square of this part. So let's start. Chain 3 for decrease, turn, and double crochet into the double crochet underneath. Place 12 filet crochet open squares and decrease in the next one. So we have arrived to our last filet crochet square. Make a decrease. And for the next row, we're starting from this second filet crochet square. So turn, slip stitch, and decrease. Continue working one side of your neckline just like that, placing decreases wherever the pattern says so, until you reach the top of this part. And on our last row, which is one filet crochet decrease, we chain 2, turn, and double crochet into the next double crochet. Cut off your yarn and pull it through, secure the end. So this is the end of one side of our neckline. Now repeat the same steps on the second side. Mark your beginning. You should have 5 filet crochet in between 2 sides. And now attach your yarn to the first filet crochet square. Pull the yarn through and chain 3 for the decrease. And continue working the pattern chart for the second side. So now I'll show you how to crochet the panels together. For this purpose, I'm going to use this swatch that I made, and I'm just going to fold it in half. Originally, you're just going to match up the front and the back panels, right sides together. And for your comfort of crocheting, you can take your pins or any other stitch markers to just align the crochet squares together. And we are going to crochet from the underarm until the bottom of the skirt. So I'll start from here. Attach your yarn to one end of either the front or the back. Put your hook inside both filet crochet squares. Pull the yarn through both and pull through again. Chain 2. And we are going to place a slip stitch into our double crochets right here. Chain 2 and slip stitch into both double crochets. And that's how we crochet the panels together. So again, I'll show you from up close. So we chain 2. We put our hook through both double crochets right here, pull through and pull through again to create a slip stitch. So you will have a visible inside seam, and on the other side it will look like 2 double crochets together. And go ahead and do this till the end of your skirt. To make an I-cord strap, take a long piece of yarn. You're going to need both ends. Thread one end through, so you have these two tails right here. I'll do shorter just to show you. So we have two tails. We just attached the yarn to our top like so. Put the hook inside our top filet crochet square, yarn over and pull through, and again yarn over and pull through. Okay, now we are going to wrap the second yarn from front to back and yarn over, pull through. So I'll show you again. With the tail closer to you, wrap it around your hook. Now you have two loops. With the other yarn, yarn over and pull through both. And again, wrap around from front to back, yarn over and pull through. And do this as long as you need it to reach your back panel. I-cord straps are generally sturdy, so they're not going to stretch as much, but it's always better to do it shorter than longer. Mine measures 34 centimeters. Let's create our final detail, which is the lace border. So go ahead and do a slip knot or attach the yarn already as you prefer, whatever method you prefer to attach your yarn, and attach it to the corner, to one corner where the seam line goes. Yarn over, pull through, so it's nice and secure. Now we are going to do 3 single crochets into our filet crochet square. So 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the double crochet. I'll show you from up close. So 3 single crochets into the filet crochet square or corner and slip stitch into the double crochet. Okay, this is how it looks like, and do this all over the top part right here. And of course you will have the back attached as well, so do it on the top of the back panel as well, and the skirt bottom section. So this is it from me. I really hope this tutorial was somewhat informative and helpful for those of you who wanted to crochet this dress. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them down in the comments below. I will try my best to answer or even adjust the pattern in the document. This is a learning path for me too, so have in mind that I am not a professional designer. I just do things that fit me and my measurements, and I just love the process of creating and exploring. I am very happy that you have watched this video till this moment, And if you have made, or if you are in the process of making the Filet Crochet Rose Dress, please tag me on Instagram. I will link my Instagram down below, or use the hashtag Filet Crochet Rose Dress so I can find and see your beautiful creations, versions of the dress. I am super excited to see them. And if you like this video, you can share it with your crochet friends, like it, or subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.